हेलो डियर स्टूडेंट्स एंड वेलकम बैक टू इंग्लिश विद प्रोफेसर तबस्सुम। आज की हमारी वीडियो में मैं आपको बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट आंसर्स देने वाली हूँ इंटर सेकेंड ईयर इंग्लिश के, जो कि आप फाइनल एग्ज़ाम्स के लिए प्रिपेयर कर सकते हो। एंड आपको पढ़ने होंगे सिर्फ और सिर्फ 12 आंसर्स। दैट मीन्स फॉर एवरी लेसन आई विल गिव यू वन आंसर, जो कि आप लिख सकते हो किसी भी क्वेश्चन के लिए जो उस लेसन से पूछा जाए। ये वीडियो स्पेशली उन बच्चों के लिए है जिन्हें इंग्लिश के आंसर्स लिखना तो है लेकिन उन्हें लिखने में प्रॉब्लम होती है एंड वो फाइनल्स में अच्छे मार्क्स के साथ पास होना चाहते हैं। फाइनल एग्ज़ाम्स के लिए आपको 4 पोएम्स, 4 प्रोज एंड 4 शॉर्ट स्टोरीज़ के आंसर्स लर्न करने होंगे, यानी कि टोटल 12 आंसर। 1. Hiroshima Child. The poem's name is Hiroshima Child. It was written by Nazim Hikmat Run. He is called one of the greatest poets of the 20th century. His writings are about war. The poem is about a 7-year-old child who died in Hiroshima bomb blast during the World War II. She is the speaker of this poem because the poet wants us to feel the pain of people who died during war. The girl knocks at doors but no one can see her as she is dead. She does not feel hungry, does not need things and has no wants. She begs people to fight for peace. She wants children to grow, laugh, play freely because she can't do it. The poem has many themes like effects of war, loss of life, and innocence. The message of the poem is that it is important to work for peace in this world. So this answer is enough. You can write it for any question which is asked from Hiroshima Child. Any annotation which is asked from Hiroshima Child. So it is very important to write about the author first and the message of the poem at the end. Next one. Awake. The poem's name is Awake. It was written by Sarojini Naidu. She was called the Nightingale of India by Mahatma Gandhi. She was a freedom fighter. Her most famous work is The Golden Threshold, 1905. The poem is about love for Mother India and request to get freedom. Sarojini shows her love for India in this poem. She says that all Indians from all religions have come to worship, serve and protect India. It is a call to remove British rule from India with unity of all Indians. India is called Queen and Goddess and told that we salute and we will protect you. The message of the poem is that it motivates Indians that with unity we can free India. Fear. The poem's name is Fear. It was written by Khalil Gibran. He was a Lebanese-American poet. His famous work is The Prophet. The poet takes two symbols from the nature, that is the river and the ocean. The river shakes before entering into the ocean because it thinks that it will lose its identity. It looks back at all the villages and forests it has traveled but cannot go back. It is impossible to go back and has to take a risk and enter into the ocean. It is a powerful message to human beings who have many fears like fear of death, fear of change, fear of identity, and fear that everyone will forget them and many more fears. The river should think that it is getting a chance to become a part of such a big ocean, and only then fear will disappear. The message of the poem is that we must learn how to overcome fear by taking risk. Next one, On the Grasshopper and Cricket. The poem's name is On the Grasshopper and Cricket. It was written by John Keats. His most famous works are Ode on a Grecian Urn and Ode to a Nightingale and longest poem Endymion. This poem is about the never-ending beauty of nature. The poet uses two symbols from the nature, that is the grasshopper and the cricket. The grasshopper never gets tired by singing during summer season. The cricket sings during the winter season. When people are half asleep in winter season, they hear the cricket's song but think that the grasshopper is singing on a grassy hill because it has a similar song. The cricket's voice comes from the stove. The cricket's song gives warmth of summer in winter. It is a 14-line sonnet. First 8 lines are called octave, that talk about the grasshopper, or we can say praise the grasshopper. The last 6 lines are called sestet, that talk about the cricket. The message of the poem is that the poetry of the earth is never ending. The 4 poems are done. Now let us come to prose. How to Avoid Foolish Opinions. The lesson's name is How to Avoid Foolish Opinions. It was written by Bertrand Russell. He was a multifaceted genius. His famous works are Principia Mathematica and Problems of Philosophy. In this lesson, he tells us 5 ways in which we can avoid bad or foolish ideas. That is, observe things yourself, look for biases, read a newspaper from outside, travel outside your neighborhood to remove prejudices, have a mock debate with an imaginary opponent to avoid foolish fights. He tells us not to become like Aristotle, who gave dogmatic statements. He tells us not to follow foolish customs like the Chinese and Manchus. He says in arithmetic there is no bad treatment, but in theology it is there. He tells us not to have human pride as we are a small part of this planet. The message of the lesson is that it makes us think about mistakes of human beings and teaches us not to make foolish decisions. Next one, The Awakening of Women. The lesson's name is The Awakening of Women. It was written by K.M. Panikkar. He is a prolific writer who studied in Madras and Oxford University. He published 50 books and articles in Malayalam and English. In this lesson, he talks about position, status, and transformation of women. The women participated in Gandhian movement that gave courage to women to participate in the national movement. Women progressed in life and got freedom from social slavery, unwanted practices and customs. Women got freedom from legal, social and political restrictions when participated in Brahmo Samaj movement. Gandhiji said that women are the primary powerhouse when he saw that they actively participated. Women got rights like independent property, freedom to marriage, and prevention from temple services. The message of the lesson is that it has good details and facts that convince readers that really the position of women in India has changed after independence. Next one, Guilty, one-act play. The lesson's name is Guilty. It is a one-act play. It was written by Horace J. Gardner and Bonnevier Arnaud. They wrote everything together, so they are called single author. It is a short, sweet and comedy play with few characters. Jim Ryan is a young engineering graduate. He works as a night watchman in Van King's warehouse. He is an honest man as his mother taught him to respect and be loyal to his workplace. One day their neighbor Mrs. Moore reads from the newspaper and informs Marianne about a robbery at Van King's warehouse. Marianne knew that Jim had not done this, but later on she finds a diamond pendant in Jim's sweater's pocket and she gets shocked. She calls up the warehouse, but she comes to know that Jim doesn't work there. Later on, Jim enters the house with a stranger. Marianne thinks that Jim first stole the diamond and then wants to sell it now. Jim tells his mother that he forgot to tell her that he found the diamond outside and wanted to give it to Mr. Van King. The stranger was Mr. Van King, who came to reward Jim for his good deed or good work. Marianne says sorry, that she will never put two different things together and come to a wrong thought again. The message of the lesson is that when parents guide positively, then a child can get success. Solution to plastic pollution. The lesson's name is Solution to Plastic Pollution. It is an article taken from the internet. It is about Dr. Rajagopalan Vasudevan. He is also called the Plastic Roadman of India. He is an Indian scientist who studied in Madras University. He works in Tyagarajar College of Engineering. His research work here was to search for ways to manage plastic waste, reuse and recover it. He found if we heat plastic waste at 160 degree and mix it at 155 degree with tar and bitumen, then we can construct plastic roads. He faced many problems, but Dr. Kalam motivated him that one day people will practice this. Dr. Vasudevan got a chance with Clean India campaign to show that his technology is useful. Benefits of plastic roads are low cost, simple technology, good use of plastic waste, waterproof roads. For 60 years, double road stand, no rutting, cracking and potholes, zero maintenance. He gave this technology to Indian government for free of cost. Okay. The message of the lesson is that we must serve our country and help improve life around us. Let's see short stories now. A Gift for Christmas. The lesson's name is A Gift for Christmas. It was written by O. Henry. It was taken from the book The 4 Million. He has written 600 stories on American life. It is about a couple named Jim and Della. Jim is only 22 years, thin man, earns $20 per week and has family's responsibility. Both of them wanted to gift each other a gift on Christmas. Della is a frugal lady and saves money, but savings were only $1.87. Della sold her long brown hair at a salon for $20. She got a platinum watch chain for Jim's gold watch for $22. Jim sold his gold watch and bought ivory combs for Della. Both of them showed love and sacrifice. Irony here is that they cannot use each other's gifts. The message of the story is that the value of a gift is in the giver and not the gift itself. Let us move on to the next one. The Woman on Platform Number 8. The lesson's name is The Woman on Platform Number 8. It was written by Ruskin Bond. His most famous work is The Blue Umbrella. He has won the Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan awards. Arun is a 12-year-old schoolboy. He is a confident boy, good observer, and travels alone without fear. Arun is going to his school by train and is waiting at the station. A simple woman in a sari comes to him and offers him food. Arun was going to refuse, but she held his hand and took him to the station dining room. She ordered tea, samosas and jalebis and listened to him like a mother. Later, Arun meets his classmate Satish with his mother on the station. Arun felt hate towards Satish's mother because she thought Arun and his mother are poor. She was a lady full of attitude and show off. Arun liked the strange lady for her nature, kindness, calmness on her face, and deep voice. When the train arrived, Satish and Arun sat in the train, and before leaving, Arun said goodbye, mother, to the strange lady. The message of the story is that it teaches us how to identify simple and nice people and also people who do things for show off. Next one, The Doctor's Word. The lesson's name is The Doctor's Word. It was written by R.K. Narayan. He has written for 60 years and is famous for stories on Malgudi days. The story is about Dr. Raman and he works at Lolly Extension. He is an honest man, trusted doctor and a friend of Gopal for 40 years. His fees is 25 rupees and patients visit him only when they are serious. One day Gopal's son tells Raman that Gopal is not well since 1.5 months. Dr. Raman goes and visits Gopal and conducts his operation at home. He knows that Gopal will not survive but keeps him under observation. Gopal gets up at night and asks Raman if he will survive or die because he has to sign a property will. Otherwise, his family will be troubled by Subaiya and gang. Dr. Raman, for the first time in his life, tells a lie because he didn't want to take away Gopal's hope. A miracle happened next day. Gopal was out of danger. Dr. Raman told Gopal's wife, "Don't look unhappy, lady. Your husband will live to be 90 years. It was a mystery for Dr. Raman that how Gopal was saved from a big attack. The message of the story is that we must understand the value of soothing words and its positive impact. This is our last short story. The lesson's name is An Interview. It was written by Richard Jordan. He was a surgeon, anesthetist and writer. He is known for Doctor series of novels. This story is about Richard's own experience. He was an 18-year-old fast, worthy wings three-quarter player in rugby game. He wanted admission in St. Swithin's Medical School, so he had to attend an interview. The secretary of the dean asked him 3 questions that are: have you been to a public school? Do you play rugby, football or association? Do you think you can pay the fees? Richard answered yes to all questions. He was taken to the dean, Dr. Lionel Loftus's room, and the dean also asked the same questions and got impressed by Richard. He said that you are selected in this interview. Richard thought that questions were not related to profession. The interview was superfluous, easy. The message of the story is that it teaches us how to conduct interviews in real life. So if you don't understand any lesson, then you can always check out my playlist given in the description box below. So playlists have been given for inter first year, second year lessons, and grammar playlist are separate. Okay.